So hey y'all, mic works. So hey y'all, my name is Henoss Taddesse. I am a second year political science major here at Northeastern. And before I start anything, I'm going to take y'all on my path. So before I do any of that, you had to know a little bit about me, right? So basically, I'm going to be speaking about my life at the intersection and insights into my identity and what I think community is. So the first thing I really want to start with, where my journey really started, was with this word that I did not know what it meant. You know, it's this word privilege, and I hear it thrown around a lot, and I didn't know what it meant, and dictionaries are too expensive, so it was good. It is what it is. But then I did some digging, and interestingly enough, there's an etymology. All words have roots, and the root word of privilege, the two root words are, the two Latin prefixes basically say private and law. So things that only apply to ourselves. But I want to focus on that first bit, right? I want to focus on the word private. And I think it's interesting, that connotation that we keep our privileges private. These are things that we don't talk about, things that we don't speak about. It's private. But that's what I kind of want to change, you know? I want to open myself up, and in turn, hopefully, y'all walk into your own journeys and your own lives, and you see that the privileges and the lack of that we keep private, we can open up and in turn self-reflect. So with that, there I am. That was my first bad picture. So a little bit about me. So I'm gonna speak about a few things by which people could identify me easily. I'm an immigrant. I moved to America when I was 6. I became a citizen at 17. I was raised in a single-parent household for the majority of my life. I live at the poverty line. I'm black, and I suffer from migraines that once a month take me out of doing anything. So for one day every month, no one really can see it on a daily basis, but I'm crippled, I'm bedridden. And I could let all those things identify me, I could let all those things define me, and for some people, it could. But in just painting myself with those narratives and those identities, that's deceiving you of who I really am. Because to the things that I keep private, I also am blessed with many privileges. I was afforded the right to immigrate to the United States of America, something that many, many people are not afforded. And if, we elect somebody, maybe many more. I have a very supportive mother at home, one who looks out for me and ensures and supports me in everything that I've ever done in my life. I attended a top 50 high school, not because of my grades or academic excellence, but because of my zip code. Because of the place where I lived, I was afforded the right to live and attend a school that propelled me to higher lengths that separated me from any one of my peers. I'm a cisgender male. That means I identify with the gender that was assigned to me at birth. And I'm heterosexual as well. Two identities that society has constructed to mean as normal or regular. But in doing so, I get the benefits and the privileges that come along with my identity. I'm at Northeastern on scholarship. I don't have to worry about the crippling financial debt that many of my peers have to worry about on a day-to-day basis. And I've been blessed, some of them here, with great mentors that have helped propel me to places 16-year-old me didn't even know if I was going to go to college. And with these people, I'm so blessed to be where I am right now, having y'all forced to listen to me. So, as black women have always done, it led me into this idea of intersections. And what does intersectionality mean? So I'll go into the definition right away. And intersectionality is the interconnected nature of social categorizations such as race, class, gender, as they apply to a given individual. And for that, I'm going to stick to myself. It's interesting that a black woman came up with this. this idea, this revolution, because that's a person that identifies themselves as two separate things that society has separated. This person is both black and a woman. And in turn, she lacks the privileges of both white privilege and male privilege. And that's something really got me thinking. It was this idea that I can be more than one thing. And more than that, I am more than one thing. I'm unique. And that was something I had to confront, right? Because I have all of these identities, these things that make me who I am, these things that, if in a broader scale, even if we went to the strictness of being a black male, there's many black men. Even if we went to black males from single-parent households who live at the poverty line, I knew dozens. What makes me unique is the amalgamation of everything that is me. And that was hard for me to understand, right? That I'm unique. That I have all of these identities, kind of like, I heard this analogy, it's like rectangles and squares, right? I can have both 90-degree angles and straight lines, or whatever they're called. And in doing so, I'm a square, I'm unique, I'm one of a kind, but so is everybody else. So is everyone that I encounter on a day-to-day basis. And that's what led me to the things that I do, right? The intersections in how I work with other people and how I interact and how I navigate my life. It's this understanding that I live my life and the means by which it is lived, but it's the understanding that so does everyone I encounter, right? It's this realization that when talking to someone, I like this idea of, I treat them how I should want to be treated, but then I have to think, maybe I should treat them how they deserve to be treated. So, bring that all back. What do I do at Northeastern? Why am I on the stage? What is a change maker? What does that mean? Who am I? So, I'm passionate about education reform. I believe that the right and the opportunity to have a quality education can drastically change a child's life. And in fact, I know this because I was blessed with that. And why this initiative was so important to me, because at the age of 5, if they go into kindergarten, public school, knowing how to read, their chances of avoiding jail go up by 100%. And that's ridiculous, right? Because you know how to read, you're not going to go to jail at the age of 5. I'm also very, very, very interested in politics and the ways in which politics shapes our world. And that's not just because I'm a political science major. Just promise I didn't just pick that out of a hat. So in these two pictures on y'all's left, we got me with the College Democrats of America. Small plug, vote blue no matter who, but back to this, right? But on y'all's right, we have me with youth in government too, students who just want to learn more about how government works and want to become more involved with how government is and just get themselves better involved. On this slide, I have been one of the previous speakers, had the blessed opportunity to work with Students Against Institutional Discrimination, which has pushed for mental health reform, diversity and inclusion reform, and many student government reform, and just basically making the atmosphere by which we all work together, the intersections we all work together, making them all one and addressing them so that our campus is better. I'm an activist as well, unabashedly. If I care about an issue, it's going to get done because that's what we're here for. I'm also a college student, so I have the time to. But this was a Fight for 15 campaign in which we pushed the issues that we cared about, because if you don't have a livable wage, then you cannot live. That's upsetting to me, that we even needed to rally for this, for decent human rights. This is my family. These are some of the communities which I belong to. On the left is Brotherhood at this school called FAM. On the right is Black Christians in InterVarsity. And both of those are both my identity. Both of those senses of community keep me going when I don't know where I'm going. So I am both unique and a part of a larger community. We can navigate these things all together, and these communities have led me to journeys such as DC and Gabrielle Union. There I am. But it's led me onto these journeys, and this concept of a journey is what's always thinking, because my end has not been reached. I'm constantly striving to get to where I want to get to, and this basking in learning is what's going to get me. And the only thing I ask is that y'all join me, and that we all go on a journey so that we can fight for the things we care about until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Thank you.